is 8 p.m. and here are our top stories. It's the second day of spring, but the weather still thinks it's winter. We have the changes you need to know about on this Weather Action Day.
The Douglas County School Board ready to announce its decision when it will reveal the new district superintendent and offer them the job.
An unlicensed security guard who killed a man in Denver is now free. Why all charges were dropped.
That's disturbing to me. I mean, it's scary. So after they cancel this one, what's the next event?
An annual basketball game in Aurora canceled at the last minute. The disturbing reason why organizers decided to call it off.
I commit to you that I will work productively to support and defend the Constitution.
It's the first day of hearings for President Biden's Supreme Court nominee, with senators from both sides asking her the tough questions.
In some instances, it appears that your advocacy has bled over into your decision-making process as a judge.
And a touching tribute to the 10 lives lost in the King Soopers shooting.
Art has the power for healing, and when people see it, they feel welcome.
Hey there, good evening, and thank you for watching Denver 7 News on Local 3. I'm Jessica Porter.
I'm Dana New. We are kicking things off with a live look outside on this Weather Action Day. It is the second day of spring, and we're celebrating the only way we know how in Denver, with snow.
Typical. Katie LaSalle joins us now. And Katie, we have one more day of this winter-like weather before spring finally shows up.
Yes, we have some really nice conditions expected by the end of the week, but it's a doozy of a storm, especially over the eastern plains still at this hour. We have another round of seeing snow showers for the Denver area tomorrow afternoon. Windy and very chilly with highs only in the upper 30s to low 40s, and some blizzard-like conditions across the far eastern plains before we really see the system get out of here. So right now, looking at our radar and satellite, still a very active picture. Some heavy snow falling near the border out near Burlington, very gusty winds, and that snow continues over southeastern Colorado for the next several hours, as well as off to our west near Golden and Genesee. Light to moderate snowfall at this hour, mostly cloudy with a few flurries here over the Denver area right now. Your weather alerts still in effect. We have winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories extending from Trinidad out through La Junta and across portions of Kansas. A blizzard warning in effect until early tomorrow morning as this storm system makes its way east. In Denver, no advisories in place, but we are starting to cool down, only in the upper 30s out downtown to the airport. Winds have been very strong, especially over the eastern plains, last recorded out near Lamar at 36 miles per hour. We'll continue to see gusty conditions through tomorrow morning, and then another round of seeing some light snow. More on what we're expecting for tomorrow before that warm up still to come.
Thank you, Katie. And after almost 2 months, tomorrow is the day the Douglas County School Board will reveal who it has selected for its next superintendent. The board interviewed finalists Erin Kane and Danny Windsor during a public meeting earlier this month. Kane is the Executive Director of Schools for American Academy, and Windsor is Executive Director of Schools for the Parker region of the school district. Kane seems to be the favorite among the conservative majority board members, and all this, of course, comes after the board fired former Superintendent Corey Wise last month, saying that he did not align with their vision.
The unlicensed security guard who killed a man outside competing Denver rallies is now officially free. Matthew Doloff is seen here on the right getting slapped by Lee Keltner back in October 2020. The district attorney's office says that aggression legally justified Doloff shooting and killing Keltner. The DA dropped all charges against Doloff today. Doloff was working as a security guard for 9 News, covering the protests. Keltner's family plans to pursue a civil lawsuit against Doloff, the security company that contracted him, the city and county of Denver, as well as now 9 News.
The annual ATown AllStar boys and girls basketball game in Aurora was canceled just hours before the event. The game was set to be played at Overland High School and featured players from across Cherry Creek and Aurora, and the Cherry Creek School District made that announcement this morning, saying it was due to recent gang-related violence in the metro. The district also says there was a threat specifically targeting the event at Overland High School. Aurora police tell Denver 7 they ramped up security for the game and felt confident about it taking place, but left the final decision to the district. And for some parents, this cancellation is an example of a greater problem of violence in schools.
That's disturbing to me. I mean, it's scary. So after they cancel this one, what's the next event? What are they going to do to try and protect?
The district says there are plans to reschedule the game, but there are still nothing confirmed just yet.
Today was the first day of confirmation hearings for President Joe Biden's Supreme Court nominee, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. She's the first black woman ever considered to potentially serve on the nation's highest court.
And Democrats praised Judge Jackson while Republicans promised to ask her tough questions this week. ABC's M. Wynn has the latest from Capitol Hill.
A historic day for Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, the first black woman ever nominated to the U.S. Supreme Court. The confirmation hearings opening with Democrats calling this a defining moment.
You, Judge Jackson, are one of Mr. Lincoln's living witnesses of an America that is unafraid of challenge, willing to risk change.
The 51-year-old mother of two is considered the most heavily vetted Supreme Court nominee in 30 years, having been confirmed 3 times before by the full Senate.
If I am confirmed, I commit to you that I will work productively to support and defend the Constitution and this grand experiment of American democracy that has endured over these past 246 years.
Republican Senator Josh Hawley accusing Jackson of letting child porn offenders off the hook during sentencing, though the White House has called the claims unfounded. And Senator John Cornyn warning Jackson, who also served as a federal public defender, that he plans to drill down on her role defending Guantanamo Bay detainees.
In some instances, it appears that your advocacy has bled over into your decision-making process as a judge.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham defending Jackson.
The fact that you represent the Gitmo detainees is not a problem with me. Everybody deserves a lawyer.
In a lighter moment, Senator Chris Coons of Delaware brought up Judge Jackson's brother, Katash, who said he wasn't surprised of Judge Jackson's Supreme Court nomination.
Oh, I'm not surprised to be here at all. This was the sort of thing for which my sister was destined from the very start.
Tuesday and Wednesday, committee senators will get their chance to grill the nominee, although many have already acknowledged that she's got more judicial experience than most of the justices already sitting on the Supreme Court. M. Wynn, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Thank you, Em. And today, President Biden signed a bill to officially rename a Boulder post office in honor of Officer Eric Talley. Talley was one of the 10 victims killed in the King Soopers shooting at the Table Mesa store. The bill was introduced last year by Colorado Representative Joe Neguse and sponsored by every single Colorado representative. You can find the Officer Eric H. Talley Post Office building at 15th and Walnut in Boulder. And tomorrow will be 1 year since that painful day in our community when 10 lives were taken tragically in that shooting.
In remembrance of those killed, the store will stay closed through Wednesday. And right now, people can pay their respects to Officer Eric Talley. His patrol car is on display in front of the Boulder Police Department, along with items that were left by his car last year. Then tomorrow at 2, there will be a line of duty death commemoration at the Boulder Police Department. At 2:30, there will be a moment of silence across the city of Boulder and all Colorado King Soopers stores to remember the 10 lives lost. Then from 4:30 to 6, there will be a day of remembrance gathering at the Glen Huntington Band Shell near the Pearl Street Mall. Governor Jared Polis will be there along with other local leaders. Denver 7 will be at tomorrow's remembrance events and honor the lives lost on air and on the denverchannel.com.
And that Table Mesa store where the shooting took place just reopened last month, and now inside you will find a massive painting created by an artist from Boulder. Denver 7's Ivan Rodriguez spoke with her and learned how the artwork helped her confront her own grief from that painful day.
Every work of art creates a sense of meaning and purpose for its creator.
Instead of painting the trees, I'm leaving negative and positive spaces.
For Lael Har, one of her latest pieces came with a great deal of responsibility, painting an enormous canvas that would sit at the front of the Table Mesa King Soopers.
This is my neighborhood. This was important for me to contribute to my community, to the healing process, and an opportunity that I had to work through my grief and bring healing through that process and hopefully gift my community with that.
Har was out of town when the shooting took place, but still felt a shock.
My kids walk to this store that we shop there all the time, weekly, and that it could have been us.
In just 3 months, Har created this canvas in her Boulder studio.
I had to divide it into 4 so I can get it out the front door. So it's from that corner till about here. You know, I had to use a ladder to reach the very top to paint the mountains and the clouds.
Although it sits inside a location with a painful history, its nod to nature brings the warmth and the joy of the outdoors inside.
I've gotten a lot of feedback a lot of gratitude that this is heart-opening, that coming to the store and seeing this is, again, uplifting for people. The art has the power for healing, I think, and bringing beauty and bringing soothing, and when people see it, they feel welcomed.
What was one of her most challenging creations will now catch the eyes of thousands who enter for years to come.
For me, once I finish a painting and it's hanging and it's appreciated, it's no longer my painting. It's now appreciated and part of the community. So it's hopefully continues to gift the community for what it's meant.
Ivan Rodriguez, Denver 7.
President Biden preparing for a trip to Europe amid the war in Ukraine. The country dealing with a growing humanitarian crisis as Russia continues its attacks.
So that means people can't get out. Children, families who haven't had water and food for days.
Plus, a Colorado family takes initiative to help Ukrainians.
I can't go over there and fight, but I can send some money over there, so that's what we're going to do.
Their creative new fundraiser that's also filling a need here at home.
Prices have almost never increased this rapidly in the time for which we have data.
And as housing prices rise, so do your property taxes. But a new proposal by state lawmakers could keep that from happening.